Hello, everybody. The day has finally arrived. Rocksmith Plus is released. It is going live today, and I finally get to talk about it. I finally get to make videos about it, which is very exciting for me. I think this should be a very exciting day for the Rocksmith community as a whole. You know, we get a new platform, a new game, whatever you want to call it, to check out. So my first video that I want to do for all of you is I want to go over one of the newest ways of connecting your guitar to the game through the interface setting. Now, I know Rocksmith 2014, you could technically play it with a USB audio interface, but it did require a user-made mod, a little bit of like finicking, had to have a little bit of technical knowledge, modifying INI files, stuff like that. However, Rocksmith Plus is doing away with all of that, natively supporting USB audio interfaces, so stuff like Focusrite, Behringer, M Audio. I think the list goes on and on and on. Hopefully all of them work. I do notice that it does say beta here, so there's probably still some stuff they got to work out. I did do a previous video on this for the beta. I used my Axe-Fx FM3. Worked pretty easily, just had to click a couple of buttons and we got it working. However, for today's video, I'm going to be setting up my Neural DSP Quad Cortex. It is another style of amp modeler similar to the Axe-Fx FM3. I'd show you it on my floor here, but it's very messy, so we can just pop a picture of it here. My guitar is connected, instrument cable, going straight to the Quad Cortex, which is going straight to the computer with a USB plug. That's it, and I'm going to run through getting this set up here. I would also like to point out that we still do have the legacy option of playing Rocksmith, we'll call it, with the Realtone cable. This is not going anywhere. Your Realtone cable will still work. And we do have the option of the Rocksmith app, which I have done a video on in the past for the beta, but we will do new videos for these as well. So if, you know, Rocksmith Plus content is what you're looking for, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we're still going to be doing Rocksmith 2014 videos as well. So if that is interesting to you, I'm going to say it again. Hit that sub button. I didn't expect Ubisoft to put interface support into Rocksmith Plus solely based on the fact that there are so many different interfaces out there, so many different drivers. You know, there's a lot of stuff that falls under the interface umbrella that could cause a problem. So when you're saying like, yeah, we support interfaces, I feel like that's a lot of stuff in there. You're opening a big can of worms, but props to them. They did put it in here. If we look here, we have two different setups for the Neural DSP. We do have the line from the Quad Cortex, which I think if I pick line, that would be similar to just using my Quad Cortex as the Realtone cable, essentially. So just imagine that my interface is acting like a Realtone cable. I'll still be able to use my wireless headset through Windows Audio. Yeah, just like a Realtone cable. I do think if I use Neural DSP audio device, I would have to have my headphones plugged into my interface, kind of like when you're doing recording. You know, when you have your interface set up as your audio device for your DAW, like your digital audio workstation. So we're going to go line here. So in the first take of this video, I clicked line and I had my desktop audio muted so you can actually hear my guitar playing. So I clicked line again and we got audio. This is obviously raw. There's no effects going on here. We have our more settings. You can see input devices lined with Quad Cortex, and the speakers are going out to my USB headset. So this is just like having a Realtone cable, but I'm using my audio interface. So if you have an audio interface already lying around, you don't need a Realtone cable. If it'll work with Rocksmith, if you have one of the supported ones, I'm not sure if there's a list or maybe they're expanding. You know, that's why it's listed as beta. Who knows? I'm not sure, but I think if you have any of the popular brands, it'll probably work right off the bat, I would assume. And that's it. Wow, that was actually incredibly simple. Just for curiosity's sake, I'm going to press the Neural DSP USB audio device. Okay, so it is now going through my Quad Cortex. I imagine if I plug... sorry, this could be really weird because you can't actually hear the other interface because it's not set up for... it's not set up for OBS monitoring. Okay, so I can actually hear Rocksmith Plus on these headphones connected to my interface. Wow, okay, that's also super simple. We do have different settings. Okay, so if you're doing the USB audio device input, you are locked to your output device, which would be the headphones on the headphone jack of the Quad Cortex. Wow, okay, so it actually has access to all of the USB inputs and outputs. Or sorry, it has access to the 2 inputs and the USB outputs. So I think with this here, what I could easily do on this Quad Cortex setup, I could set the input as the input 1. Rocksmith would be hearing a raw audio, like a dry audio from my guitar, but I could be hearing my own tones. Okay, actually, let me very quickly see here if I can add. Sorry, everybody. Listen, my videos are always very on the fly. I'm not super professional. But the important thing to note is that, so, you should be hearing the guitar now. But notice that Rocksmith is still getting input. And I can change my tones. This video was just to show how I could connect my guitar through my Quad Cortex. It actually went a lot easier than I expected, and there is 2 different ways that you can use your interface to play Rocksmith. Now, obviously, mileage may vary. You might have a different interface, but there's options there. There's options. You could use your own tones through your modeler if you have one. You could probably run some VSTs through there if you did all your monitoring through your actual device, or you could just use the USB line and play it like you would originally use your Rocksmith tones, right? Options. We have options. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you're liking Rocksmith Plus, or if you're not liking Rocksmith Plus. I mean, opinions may vary. Let me know in the comments below. I'm looking forward to making a lot more Rocksmith Plus videos, so like I said early in the video, make sure you're subscribing. We got Rocksmith 2014 videos still coming out as well. And thanks for being here. Rock on.